I am currently on a diet. It's a diet as my weight has fluctuated over the years and I need to lose weight. I've been trying to figure out what's a good slow way to lose weight. So I call this diet the Tanis Diet because it's what I eat and how I have the diet set up. It actually can be translated easily to a non-diet, just maintenance after the weight is lost. So I've used this for maintenance in the past, and especially it's a really good diet if you want to incorporate physical activity into your routine and not starve and feel faint and lightheaded. Because that's, I have found to be the biggest problem. And so it's been about a decade I've spent on kind of fine-tuning this, and for a couple months before I started it in June-ish. So for the months before that, I decided on what I'd log. So I log, and by logging I mean I keep a journal. So I have a tiny little notebook, small, because for each day I don't want my food intake to be more than there are lines, unless it's a splurge day. Not a binge day, but a splurge day. And so I keep track of calories, grams of fat, total fat, and then calcium percent. I have found that unless I am paying attention to how much calcium I consume, I don't get anywhere close. As we get older, I've found people push alcohol over glasses of milk as somehow socially acceptable, though in the long term, that might lead to very large medical bills and osteoporosis and other stuff. That's just kind of depressing. So I'm like, you know what? No, I can make a commitment to at least get half of my daily intake. So I eat ice cream bars and cheese are kind of my source on this diet of calcium. And yeah, there's an adjustment, but oddly, I find that foods high in calcium are satisfying, and they tend to have protein in them, so you get both protein and calcium. Okay, so it's not a you eat certain foods on certain days, so like or you eat a certain amount on like every day. It's a 2-week cycle. So 2 weeks. That's the cycle. It's 2 weeks. And so we're going to go through both weeks and what I do. So this is just the exercise and calories that I get. The calcium, 50% or higher. Like if I drop below 50%, I got a problem and I need to readjust my eating. So for week 1, Monday through Friday, I do 1.5 or more hours exercise. So what I tend to do is about, sorry, I'm trying to think of whether, so there's one day more and different form of exercise. So what that means is Monday through Friday, I do half an hour of strength training and 1 hour of cardio. Half an hour of rowing machine and half an hour of elliptical for my cardio. In strength training, I use weights and target my arms and my abs. One day, I still do the strength training, but the cardio can be a different form, and I can do as much as I want. So like I can go hike 10 miles if I want. And that one day more also corresponds to a different calorie intake. So for this week 1, Monday through Friday, 1.5 plus hours exercise, and I consume 1680 calories, so 1,680 calories. as a high. On the low end, if I'm not exercising as much for some reason, or I do like an hour of rowing instead of elliptical, then I can go down to 1400. I find the elliptical is very taxing, so yeah, I need the calories or I feel faint. So that's what I do. And then for the one day where I have a different form of exercise, I can consume 1780 calories. And that day on week 1 is Tuesday. I would, if you're gonna try this, I would choose the day that works for you. Tuesdays work for me currently, so that's why. Okay, next day is Saturday, so week 1 on Saturday is 1.5 hours exercise and 2,180 calories. Saturdays are the day of the week where the most variation occurs between the weeks. On Sunday in week 1, I do 1.75 hours exercise. So I'll do 45 minutes on the elliptical. I feel it. Oh, and what makes it possible in large part is the 2,100 calories. Eat the day before for what you want day of in exercise. So the 2,180 calories allows me to have the energy to do 1.75 hours of exercise. So it's just like a tip is if you're gonna work out a bunch, eat the day before more, not day of. And I guess this is still a little bit more. 1,880 is still more than a weekday. So it allows me to recuperate after the exercise session better. All right, now we are on to week 2. So week 2, we have the same 1.5 hours plus hours exercise. The one day one of different form. I have currently chosen to be Wednesdays. So Wednesdays. And that's the only difference. So it's 1,480 to 1,680 calories. So pretty much the same as week 1, except for a different day with higher exertion and higher calories. So that day, the Wednesday on week 2, is 1,780 calories. And one thing I do with this diet is if I have a birthday or I'm going adventuring and I need to eat more food because I need to stay alert and I'm driving for 12 hours, I will switch one of the weekend days with a weekday so that I can eat more food. And then I would apply the this exercise level and calorie intake to a weekend day and switch the weekend to the weekday. Okay, week 2, Saturday. This is, it's called a splurge day, and I have to have it because my normal life, I exercise sometimes 4 or 5 hours a day. And so I have to have one day where my exercise is less and I consume a lot more. So on Saturdays, I do 1.25 hours of exercise. No elliptical. Elliptical is not allowed on Saturdays. And I consume 3,500 to 4,000 calories. You heard that right. I eat a lot. But that's baseline. If I work out 4 or 5 hours a day, that's what I have to eat just to maintain my weight, if not more, depending on the type of exercise. So this is like, I need this for survival. Week. Hello. Okay. Yep. And week 2 on Sundays, they are an in-between. So it's a calorie intake we have in week 1, which is 2,100 calories, 2,180 calories to be specific. So when I say calories, I mean these all is like limits. You can't go above this limit. I can't go above this limit. And I do 1.5 plus hours exercise. This helps me recuperate from the big splurge day consumption, and it makes it easy to ease back into the 1,680 calorie limit during the week. So this. And again, I can take and I can substitute a weekday for a weekend if I need to. I do not do that very often. It's every once in a while, specifically long adventures. Half day, I can adjust my diet and my exercise pretty easily, but if I'm gone from like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., I need to adjust my entire day and be aware of that being out there adventuring requires more energy. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I've lost about 20 pounds so far, and I've got 20 pounds-ish more to go. It's slow. I lose about 1 pound to 2 a week, but it's slow going, but I'm happy and I have more energy and I still enjoy my exercise, and I think that's the most important thing. And overall enjoyment. I'm enjoying my food in my life. Yes.